Welcome to Who Knows. So today I'm going to talk about one thing you guys been asking me for a long time is what Winston changed the daughters. Actually, it's like a should be maybe also can say like what Winston teach me when I have the daughter training in his class. And luckily I found my training book. That's the book we use at that moment, and that's also why I keep it for now already 5 years, because it's really quite useful. Even my English is not too terrible, and I have some overseas travel experience. I still think this book is super useful for any Chinese who going to overseas to study or to live there. So let's start. So the first part and the most important part I think is the daily English, which is the content have quite a lot of different things, like showing how to meeting people, and then the lesson 2 is how to talk to foreigners. Well, it's kind of funny is the topic we like to talk to Chinese and foreigner. Actually, it's really different because culture, because our culture is different. So actually make us, the topic is different too. So which is good to know, like some danger topic, you better never ask. Something like money, salary, and age, that kind of thing. I think it's quite danger or sensitive to ask a stranger, so which is good to know, because I have some foreigner friend before, so that's something I knew before. But actually, in our class, maybe only half people in the class, they went to overseas to travel or study, and maybe only 1 or 2 they have a experience to talk to the foreigner. So you can't imagine like how useful for us like this kind of a topic. Of course he teach more than that, like super complicated sentence. And number 4, lesson 4 will be the how to order in a restaurant, which I remember this topic, like we even make a small role play, like student A pretend it's a waitress and student B pretend to order the meal, that kind of thing, which is quite funny. I still can remember the game. And it's good because for me it's quite useful, because I never try to order in an English restaurant, and the first side always difficult. I still remember one thing is how he teach us to answer like how we want our steak done, like medium to well done, or medium or well done, that kind of thing. And of course, the table manner is really important. About the airport thing, actually, Winston did teach us one thing super important is about a border. When we arrive in a border, they may like check our luggage, and we have to make sure we must be honest to show them like what we bring, because Australia have a super strict rule for the food and what you bring to the country, because they care about the environment a lot. Winston, like Chinese people, they like to bring a lot of food to the overseas, because they worry about they can't get the Chinese local food in Australia. So like he did like want us, don't bring too much food, like just try to enjoy the food in Australia, try to bring less fang bian mian, the instant noodle. And so that's really good to know before we arrive in the country, to know the custom. They are so serious about all this kind of thing. I remember one video he showed us is how many kind of animal can kill us in Australia, which is really horrible to see that, like the spider and snake, and what's that in the sea? 那个水母 jellyfish, yeah, jellyfish. Luckily, we didn't see one of them, so that's why we're still alive. Yeah, but that's really scary, make us. Yeah, but that's really make us scary. Of course, like we are going for the medical training, right? So also it teaches us something very important is the medical conversation. It's like kind of like that's really in the book is quite a big content, like something about the clinic medicine and surgery. Wow, a lot of them. Well, to be honest, of course we know this is really important, but we didn't really use any professional medical English in China, so which is make us still quite difficult to understand all of them, even after we have some training class about this. But when you're in the real life, when you listen to the local people, the essence and the speed they speak, it's still quite difficult to fully understand what they talk about. But it's good to know the conversation, like how the doctor would talk to the patient. Something I did after that training is like because when I back from the Australia, my boss, my leader, like also want to improve our clinic daily medical conversation, and then like she want me teach the nurse as well. And then I just ask my husband's help, and then we do have maybe a few months training for the nurse, like how they can help the foreigner patient to register, and to teach them where to go and where to get the blood test, how to pay, that kind of thing. And it's really useful and practical. Now you know what my husband told us. Hope you learned something. See you next time.